Something big is happening in women's basketball discourse, and it's not even about a box score. It's about power, attention, and perception, and how one star's rise can turn every comment into a league-wide controversy. Because right now, A'ja Wilson's name is being tied to a wave of backlash centered around Caitlin Clark, and people are even speculating about Team USA decisions. So today we're separating what was actually said, what's being claimed, and what this means for Team USA's future. Just to be clear, this video focuses on public reaction, publicly available statements, and online claims. If something is unconfirmed, I'm going to label it as unconfirmed because sports media is loud, but receipts matter. Here's why this topic spreads so fast. Caitlin Clark isn't just a player, she's a traffic source. Ratings spikes, ticket demand, merch demand, national coverage. She brings attention at a level the league hasn't seen in years. So anytime there's even a hint of conflict, real or perceived, it turns into a headline. And A'ja Wilson is also a major star with a real resume, real accomplishments, real fans. So when fans believe there's shade, disrespect, or rivalry energy, they pick sides instantly. Let's talk about what typically triggers the backlash cycle. A quote gets clipped, a reaction account posts it with a dramatic caption, people add assumptions, she hates her, she's threatened, she's lying, etc. And by the time you see it, the story is no longer about the quote, it's about the narrative people built around it. Yeah doesn't need to say, I dislike Caitlin for a segment of the internet to decide that's what she meant. And Caitlin doesn't need to respond for fans to claim she's being targeted. That's the modern sports machine. Now, where Team USA enters, fans treat Team USA as the ultimate stamp of respect. So whenever there's debate about selection camp invites roles, leadership direction, people interpret it as the league deciding who matters. And online, you'll see claims like, they're building around Caitlin. They're pushing out certain vets. They're making an example. But here's the truth. Team USA decisions usually come down to a mix of roster fit, health, timing, chemistry, international style, and sometimes politics of the moment, so speculation spreads fast. Even if no official decision exists, this is the heart of it. Some fans argue basketball value should be the only thing that matters. Other fans argue the league is in a growth moment and brand value has to be part of the conversation. Caitlin Clark is the clearest example of a player whose brand impact is massive. A'ja Wilson is a clear example of a player whose on-court dominance is elite. When those two get compared publicly, it creates tension because people start mixing two different debates. Who's the better player? Versus who's driving the business? And that's where fans start calling each other biased. Sneaker culture is gasoline in women's basketball discussion. Whenever a big deal drops, people treat it like a ranking. Who deserves what? Who's next? Who got overlooked? Online narratives try to paint players as competing behind the scenes. Sometimes players are simply advocating for themselves, which is normal. But in the heat of social media, self-advocacy gets framed as jealousy. So instead of she was jealous, a smarter way to say it is the timing and tone of the conversation created backlash. Because that's what brands and media actually react to. Timing, tone, optics. If your name becomes part of a negative Caitlin Clark headline cycle, even unfairly, it can backfire in two ways. Casual fans start associating you with negativity. Discussion shifts from your game to your alleged attitude, and that's what many A'ja fans hate. They want the focus on dominance, not drama. But the internet chooses the mess every time. 10-10 to 11-40. So did Team USA fire anyone? Clean, safe. Let's address the claim directly. Fans online throw around words like fired, kicked out, removed, and they do it fast. But unless there's an official announcement or credible reporting, that's not a fact, it's a claim. And a lot of times what people call fired is actually not invited to a specific camp window, resting injury, timing, roster experimentation, or just internet rumor becoming truth by repetition. So if you see A'ja Wilson fired from Team USA, treat it as a viral headline, not a verified event until proven. If the league and Team USA are smart, they steer this back to basketball. Keep messaging calm, avoid feeding rage bait, let camps, games, and official rosters speak, because the reality is Team USA will want the best roster possible for international play. And the best roster possible usually includes elite scorers, elite defenders, elite bigs, elite playmaking, and lineups that fit international spacing rules. This isn't Twitter. It's chess. So here's the big question. Do you think the media and fans are turning normal competition into manufactured rivalry? Or do you think there's a real divide in women's basketball right now between the old era and the new spotlight? Era, drop your take in the comments, keep it respectful. And if you want more breakdowns where we separate hype from reality, hit like and subscribe.